Hello, Gemini. This one is for you. This is Tarot Lumination with your August 2017 love and relationship reading. Okay? Oh, you've done this before. So read for your sun, moon, and rising. You know how to do that. Also, it helps a lot if you read the introduction video for the whole playlist. It'll explain how and why the reading is done this way, the type of spread, and so on and so on. But just briefly, I like to read from the perspective of a relationship that is sort of in play already, has some momentum. I know there are singles out there, and they do ask. Thank you so much for the interest. You can interpret this as a singles reading if you want, but it has to be on the understanding that you radiate the energy of relationship regardless of whether you are paired up or not. And so whatever happens over here on the relationship side, as opposed to you on your side, is ephemeral energy, which may be past life, present life, future life, but not in three-dimensional presence at this very, very moment through your August eclipse season. Okay, also with this crucible spread that we do, it's on the understanding and acceptance that there is yourself, there is a significant other, and then there is a third entity called the relationship itself. Okay? I don't want to take too much time on that, but in a healthy relationship, everything is conducted through the relationship as opposed to one-to-one. Okay? So I hope that helps. It is the important month of August where these eclipses are happening. So just hang on, hang in, okay? Because there's a lot of big shifting going for a lot of people. Big, big shifts. You might want to watch one of the astrobabbles about that. Okay. Well, we are shuffled. You're a witness, okay? We're going to cut it up in a very strange way to break up the energy deliberately. Also, please understand, Gemini, that your ruling planet, Mercury, is going retrograde through a big chunk of August. So there might be a lot of hurry up and wait, or hold on. Need to review, rewind, revise this and that and that. Repair, rejoice, reconfigure, and just deal with any glitches that come up, okay? Also remember that Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all pretty much retrograde for pretty much the whole month. So it's a lot of retrograde energy, okay? So that's adding to the eclipse energy. Here's you. Here's a significant other. Let's go deeper into you. Let's go deeper into another. And let's have a look at the relationship itself. I'm trying to create a bowl shape. A crucible is a very, very, very strong bowl type structure usually, which can endure tremendous pressure that can happen in a relationship without the relationship falling apart. In other words, it's like a safe place. So I like to also read for what I call the weather, which would be like the card underneath, which would be like an environment in which this is happening. So you have to deal with it anyway, whatever the weather is, because that's how you deal with life. And we just make the best of it, okay? And if you want to read things into the weather, sure, you can do that. Some people do that. And you have the Emperor. So with the Emperor energy here, like permeating the reading itself, it might feel as though, let's just say there's a lot of pressure. That's how I'm feeling it. A lot of pressure on Gemini to be the best Gemini and rise up to that kind of energy of being truly the ultimate boss of you, Gemini, as opposed to the less evolved version of you. And this can occur in the context of relationship. It can also feel with Emperor type energy around you that it could almost be oppressive to the point where there is such a dominating energy around you that may not be yours, that you might have a feeling of like, how am I supposed to thrive and blossom and bloom and transform and evolve with that much external pressure, so to speak? Let's have a look anyway. It also can indicate, let's just keep going. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've, okay, so Gemini, You know, we've come off straight out of the box here with the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune here. So it might feel, Gemini, that there are a lot of, let's just call it forces of nature, okay? Some people might want to call it fate or destiny or events outside of your control. It might feel like a lot of that is happening to you. It could feel as though you are being swept along through this month in ways that you may not have chosen, but it's happening anyway. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune, of course, it's always in motion, always, 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 and it always, always works in your favor, even when it's on the downspin, so to speak, because life is a wave pattern in most cases. Like visible light is a wave. Ocean moves in waves. Our heart moves in waves, in, out, pump in, pump out. Our breath moves in waves, in and out, and so on and so on. And even in the context of a full-on relationship, we intimate and we separate in many, many different ways every single day, all the way from deep intimacy, one-on-one with another, sharing your body with another, to deep separation, all the way to complete and utter separation. So that's what happens. And if it feels like it's all happening out of control for you, Gemini, that could be a little disturbing because it's actually very nice to feel we have at least some degree of say in our life. But these are two really strong cards that might make you feel as though you almost have no power in the situation. Now, don't get too freaked out by the way I'm reading this, because with this Leo new moon and eclipse energy happening, it's actually very, very supportive for you in terms of the astrology. So I wouldn't get too stressed about it. It could be that all of this is working extremely well for you and you're actually kind of enjoying the ride, okay? You might feel as though, oh, the fates are working in my favor. Yay! Everything is working just right for me to become this awesome new Gemini in this relationship situation, okay? Or it's just moving along in ways that just seem fine. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. It's not an energy that you want to take for granted. In other words, Gemini, if you're one of those Geminis who's just really good at going with the flow of things, great. If this feels contradictory to you, or you feel like all the fates are moving against you, then it might be an idea to I don't want to judge or say, say change your attitude or something. All I'm suggesting here is to understand that with these, what I would call fated energies, they're always working for you, even if it feels it's going against you, because that's what might have to be learned. Okay, let's have a look at the other here. What's going on with them? Okay, more major cards here. So Gemini, something is happening with you in a significant relationship, which it could almost feel like it's like you have no say in it at all. Like it's just either awesomely good and you're just like, wow, this is cool. Oh, I always wanted this. I always expected it. I deserve it. I'm pretty awesome. And the supporting weather is indicative of that being so. Yes. Okay. However, I feel obliged as your Tarot Lumination reader to suggest that we tone it down a little bit and allow that in mundane terms, things might be feeling as though they're just getting swept along. You might be getting swept along, and you might be relating with a significant other who has, let's say, very particular ideas on how this relationship is going. And you may or may not like those ideas. This is the card of justice, where let's just say, get it out there. Justice, let's just say justice is justice served. In other words, if you're in a relationship dynamic where you're feeling like a significant other is calling you out, either for positive or challenging aspects, in other words, I told you so kind of energy, like, what did you expect, Gemini, my dear lovely Gemini? What did you expect it would happen with me or us in this relationship, given blah, 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 blah behavior? or given, I mean, it could be very positive, okay? But either way, justice is served. And in other words, everything is exactly as it should be. So in other words, if you're relating in such a way where you're kind of on autopilot, where all of this energy here and all of this energy here is just, in other words, you're just kind of like living through appearances or going through the motions of a relationship, living, like, I want to be a little bit blunt here, but like living a lie, or just taking it all for granted, sometimes that can backfire on you, because there are other ways to relate in a relationship. And if you're dealing with a significant other who is appreciative of how things are happening in the relationship, then it will be known and it will be clear, and you will get a direct reflection back with them, like an affirmative response, like, see, I told you, Gemini, everything is just awesome, and we can do this the right way. Let's make this happen in the way that is right and just and good for us, for the relationship. Okay? So that might be fine. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it, and everything will work out just fine. However, if things are out of whack in the relationship, you might be receiving this justice energy like face on like this as, excuse me, my dear Gemini, you're just getting what you asked for. And if that happens to be something very uncomfortable for you, Gemini, then a significant other might be saying, well, I told you so. I could have told you so a long time ago, and I've been trying to drop hints for a long time, but you don't get it. You might be just thinking it's all just a fated ride and we just kind of cruise through things and stuff just happens. And all I'm saying here, back to you, my dear Gemini, is that it doesn't quite work that way. I deserve respect. I am another human being, and I am a full participant in the relationship. And it's not just about you living through a fated circumstance for your particular benefit and your particular use. So I'm trying to put like a reality check energy here, okay? And again, this is because we're dealing with a major arcana here. It's very, let's just simplify it and just call it fated, okay? Or destined. In other words, whatever is happening in your relationship right now is exactly as it should be, no matter how awful it is, no matter how good it is, okay? So I'm trying to stay and convey this to you in an extremely neutral way, Gemini, so that I don't put any bias on it or tell you that, oh, this is good news or, oh, this is bad news. All right, let's have a look deeper here. Let's have a look deeper inside of you, Gemini. What's going on? Okay. Well, maybe, let's put the positive spin here. Maybe you are sensing deep down that, especially when you think of it, how it's affiliated with these eclipses coming in, with Leo energy, which is typically very comfortable for you, Gemini, very, very supportive energy for you. It pours energy into you and your life and your world. Deep down, you might be sensing that something really good is happening or is about to happen. And so we're starting to see the relationship in a more positive light. And even though it might have a very fated, destined kind of feel to it, deep down, you are either sensing that this is a golden opportunity to make things real, put things right, and have a brand new start and make it much more like reality based, as opposed to like riding the fates, so to speak. And when I say reality based, I'm including everything. Like it could be like, you know, home and family, or maybe this relationship is very, very supportive for you to evolve yourself to become the better Gemini. At the same time that it's very supportive for a significant other to become their full self. Okay, so this is very, very supportive energy. The Ace of Pentacles is like a gift. It's the energy of a gift from heaven coming down to you, pretty much like But this is already inside of you, Gemini. It's like you own this already. So somewhere it might be that, you know, even though I might have been a bit harsh earlier in the reading, it might be, if we put a positive spin on things, that deep down you knew kind of all this was coming, and that there is something really special and good about what's going on here, even though it might be hard to understand, even though it might be hard to like wrangle it, so to speak, because these energies are so strong. It's almost like the will of heaven is moving through you rather than you simply making stuff happen, or you being fully in charge of the relationship, okay? Or yourself for that matter. So again, because this is such strong major arcana energy here. So this is good. I feel like this is good. It's almost like hopeful energy, like, yeah, this could be really, really good. This whole eclipse thing could actually be working for me, Gemini. So that let's just stay positive there, okay? Now let's have a look deeper inside this other person, okay? Okay, well, I guess they're enjoying what's happening. This is the Nine of Cups. And again, let's try to put the positive spin on here. In fact, let's not try. Let's just do it. Let's just say, Gemini, that you happen to be relating with someone who gets you. They understand. They understand the dynamics of the relationship. Remember, this is you, Gemini. You're reading about your relationship with another. Now, the other is actually sharing this crucible energy, this structure with you, but it's still your reading. So if you want to, Gemini, we can look at these two cards separately, as they are literally just the other person. So on the positive spin, it could be, it's almost like, to me, it feels like the energy of, like you're just sitting somewhere, or maybe at a cafe or a restaurant, or just having dinner or something with someone you love, someone special. And it's almost kind of like that very, 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 very subtle energy of knowing that something really good is actually happening. And you know it and they know it, but you haven't really talked about it too much because it's like it's so potentially precious that you don't want to jinx it. And it's like they're coming along and nudging you and kind of going, have you noticed, my dear Gemini, how things are working out? I feel like saying, dear Gemini, I told you so. I told you so. Told you we were onto a good thing. Because deep inside, I'm feeling a lot of this. This is like the wish card, the wish fulfilled card. This is like the happy, happy card, to the point where you almost might want to get drunk, drunk on happiness and like, Now, I feel obliged as your reader to put a shadow spin on this, just in case things are not all hunky-dory for you in your love life. Let's say you're with a significant other, and it's the same scenario I just described, where you're still honoring the relationship with each other, but there is a little bit more of an uncomfortable nudge, like, yes, my dear Gemini, I'm finally glad you're getting it now, because you can see how things are going, and you're just simply getting what you deserve. In other words, if my dear Gemini, you feel that things aren't working out for you with us, then all I have to say, Gemini, is that you're getting what you deserve. And I'm not saying we're going to break up or anything, or I'm going to divorce you. I'm just saying you're getting what you deserve, because deep down, I deserve this. I am here with you, and I'm sharing at this degree of power and balance with you, and I deserve this. This is my wish. This is my wish. My desire is to be happy. Not just happy for myself as an individual, but happy for you and happy for the relationship. I want the good stuff. I deserve it. I deserve justice, just like you deserve justice and want the good stuff in the relationship, okay? I'm just letting you know. I hope you don't mind. I would like some of the good stuff too. I can tell deep inside that you're hoping for some of the good stuff, and you might see this as an opportunity. But to put the shadow spin on it, this could be like, oh my God, I messed up. This may never happen. And oh my God, what if it all screws up? I'm never going to have that wish. I'm never going to have that happiness. And that is a serious problem. But we have to allow for that in the reading, okay? I'm just being honest with you, okay, Gemini? I see it and I feel it, so I have to call it out. It's very easy to read this as a very positive reading, but I also feel obliged to call out the shadow side. It's for, let's just say, I'm covering myself as a reader and I'm trying to protect you as a viewer, okay? So let's have a look at the relationship itself, the energy of the relationship itself. Okay, well, this is really supportive, strong energy. This is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is the sort of energy where, remember, this is the relationship itself. This is not you, Gemini. This is not the other. This is the energy of the relationship itself. It might be, with so many positive supporting cards here, let's stick to the positive side of things. It might be that this relationship is actually very empowering for you, Gemini. It could be empowering for the other, but remember, this is your reading for you, Gemini, about yourself in a relationship with another, okay? You and the other. But the relationship itself, from your perspective, seems to be potentially very supportive. Like, it's almost like the excitement of this actually happening, a new beginning, a new start in life with things that actually work, to the point where the energy, where the relationship itself is actually infused with this much passion, okay? The Queen of Wands is a very, let's say, openly expressive and passionate type of energy, which likes to be shared and expressed and put out there, almost just in the celebration of being awesome, okay? The Queen of Wands loves the idea that, let's just say, her people enjoy what she has to offer, and she loves to get in there with her people and share who she is and what she has with her people. So your relationship, Gemini, with a significant other has the potential to be good news, not only for yourself, but for a significant other, potential wish come true, in fact, for a significant other, to the point where you might want to celebrate. And when you combine it all, squish it all into the relationship itself, it's very inspiring. It makes the significant other feel inspired to be more of themselves. It makes you feel more inspired to be more of yourself, which only adds more and more fuel to the goodness of the relationship, okay? So that's potentially very, very good. So I'd like to reference back to here, the Power card. It's like winning and succeeding, and like complete mastery and dominion of your world. So it might be like this supportive energy here is actually almost like a mirror image of what's actually going on inside of you guys with this relationship, because it's looking pretty good, honestly. And Gemini, it may be just that you simply deserve this, and justice is being served. But again, I feel I have to account for the shadow side. This could be like it's going to your head a little bit. So I'm just mentioning that. So it's almost like a relationship dynamic where you want to tell everybody, let's just stay the positive side. You want to tell everybody how awesome things are. And you want to share that. In other words, a really, really healthy energy, a really, really healthy relationship can glow like a beacon and be very, very inspiring for others, almost like a model, almost like living by example, because the Queen of Wands is energy that truly lives by example. She has no problem about taking off her crown and robes, rolling up her sleeves, and getting in there with her people and doing what has to be done to lead and inspire, even getting into the trenches, even getting in there with, what's that expression? The little people. I don't want to belittle anyone here, but it's like to be with her people, let's say. In other words, it's almost like there's no pride here. There's no arrogance. There's no selfishness. No, there's no narcissism here. It's just good, raw, bright, inspirational leadership kind of energy, inspiring you and inspiring for others. Where does this momentum go? It's, jeez, Gemini, this reading, man, it's loaded with a lot of good energy here. I just hope that it's actually kind of this way for you. If you're having a really crappy time, please get in touch with me, okay? And we'll figure this out. But this in general is looking very like supportive. In other words, like the other person might have been hanging in for a long time, waiting for this moment to say, finally, justice is served, and things are actually looking like they're going to start to work out and come to fruition, to the point where the relationship itself comes into completion. Okay? Can you see how similar these cards are? Can you see how the energies are very, very supportive? All the energies of the universe, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, mind, body, soul, heart, all of it is swirling around, working in your favor, to the point where it's almost like, you know, the perfect recipe. It's like, I don't know, making a perfect meal or going out to dinner and having the best meal you've ever had because everything was just right, and it looks like it's all coming to you in just the right way at the right time, and that this energy, as it plays out, coming out of August, will carry you for some time, because with the world, which can indicate a sense of completion, a sense of fullness, a sense of ultimate fruition, like everything is exactly as it should be. All the tragedies and drama that you might have endured in this relationship, all the pain and the sorrow, all the intimacy, all the separations, whatever it might have been in terms of like the story of your relationship is perfect. Okay? So that's very good news, and that's sustainable. It's like it's coming to, let's say, completion exactly the way as it should be, and you're very lucky in many ways, Gemini. Not everyone's going to get a reading quite like this. So also, by the way, what I feel here is that about the relationship being an inspiration for others, I feel that really strongly here, because you might know a lot about what's been happening, and they might know a lot about what's been happening in the context of the relationship, even though you might not have understood a lot of the dynamics as you evolved from the Wheel of Fortune energy right up to the world energy, where it actually does work out. It could almost be like, gulp, I didn't know it could be this good. I was hoping for that. I hope for that. And they're like, I hope to get this. I freaking hope it works. And lo and behold, it looks like there's a chance for this to happen. And it could build into something that is truly, truly complete. A truly complete relationship with all the bells and whistles. Okay? So let's have a look. Just for fun, we're going to pull that a little love and romance card from the Romance Angels deck. Excuse me, hold on. I'm going to pull this for you. You know what? For aesthetics, we're going to show this over here on the side, just for fun, so you can see kind of what happened in your reading, and you can reinterpret this as much as you want later on. And don't forget to read for your sun, moon, and rising. But for now, we're just going to close out with one card from the Romance Angels. So I know it's kind of like corny and traditional, but there's not a lot of decks that can substitute for the Romance Angels. So that we're just going to go with it, okay? And we're going to make the best of it. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pull the top card when I feel it, and that's going to be your card. All right, so here you go. And you have codependency. It's almost like I was waiting for a horrible bad card to come up. This isn't horrible or bad, but you know, compared to all this stuff, it's just maybe a little like tap on the shoulder, Gemini. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Doopy-doopy-doo. And the cards are just giving you a nudge, reminder. So let's, you know, let's just read for this, see what they say, okay? So don't take this personally, Gemini. Remember, this is a general reading for a lot of Geminis, and we're just going to make the best of it for you. All right? So it says here, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Who knew, Gemini? Who knew? I didn't see any sign of it here, but who knows? This card answers your question in perhaps a surprising way because addictions are the culprit behind the issues you're attempting to resolve. That's if you have issues that are really, really challenging. Okay? This could be your own craving for a substance or unhealthful behavior, or it could be that your partner's addictions are impacting your love life. This card is also an indicator of childhood experiences in an addictive family in ways that adult patterns now are affecting you in your romance and love life. Okay? Since love is the basis of your romantic partnership, addictions become a barrier to moving toward true emotional intimacy. And that's true. That's true. This is especially true if you are twisting yourself in knots to please a person whose dependency has lessened his or her capacity for happiness or a healthy relationship. That no-win situation will negatively affect your self-esteem and your own happiness if you continue to allow for the codependency issues to exist in the relationship. Fortunately, lots of support is available worldwide in the form of 12-step meetings. Oh gosh, AA and that stuff, oh dear. And other addiction support fellowship models. Well, that's good. I like the idea of support and group support for people who are struggling with, challenges like that. So whether it is you or your romantic partner who has the addiction, you can find free groups near you through internet searches or by contacting a local community health center. So there you go. It's not the end of the world. It's just a nudge from the romance angels that there might be some issues in the relationship that would be called codependency if you were to go and seek or services of let's say, a relationship counselor or a life coach counselor. But otherwise, it looks pretty sweet, Gemini. I hope you make the most of this. I hope you have an awesome August and make the best of these eclipses, okay? Thank you so, so much.